Alan Soren, over California.
Check, check.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Gym Crashers with Dondo, Adam Woods, and who is your special guest, fellas?
Alan Soren from MMA Events Incorporated.
That's right. It's all about knees and kicks to the face.
Yeah.
And Disneyland.
Oh, yeah, Disneyland's in the mix right now.
Yeah.
We didn't know that fights happen, but even at Disneyland they can happen, right?
If you wish upon a star.
There you go.
Look at this guy.
There's fights like literally fucking happening everywhere this
Well,
week.
I've been used to seeing people get crazy on planes. That's been happening, airports, things like that, right? Of course, parking lots and things of that nature. But Disneyland?
I mean, it was like a...
And wait, it was in Toontown.
Yeah.
It was a fight between Tigger and Pooh.
Well,
It was?
if you
Was there a
say so.
prairie dog? I'm just saying.
The guy was pretty tall like Tigger, and then the person he was fighting was like Winnie the Pooh.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
I'm just glad that the T wasn't replaced with the N because it would have been weird.
I'll let you two discuss that a little further.
What's good, party people? Man, Dondo and Rob killed it at Lights Out Extreme Fighting. Sean Merriman's
we stay busy. It's what we do. But you killed it at Sparstar. I don't even know where to start because I heard you did
You
commentating.
guys were everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
It's a good thing there's
And I
a
was
few
in
of us.
Vegas.
Yeah, this guy was
Yeah, I
in
love
Vegas.
that.
UFC 239. So
Yeah.
between the three of us,
Jealous.
You're gonna get some fight
I didn't
acumen. You're gonna get some fight acumen of everything that was going on, right?
It was nuts.
It's
Yeah.
International
This
fight
weekend, yeah.
fight week, right? So this is the fight week.
Yeah.
We're pretty international.
This is the bit we are. Yes,
Yeah.
we always
Absolutely.
are because we mix it up. Yeah,
At least intercontinental.
that's a
To
fact.
be a champion.
But before we even get started, the biggest thing we like to announce is MMA Events Incorporated is throwing a big fight on July the 27th, which is a Saturday in Pasadena
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Convention Center.
Man.
Is that what it is?
Pasadena Convention Center.
That's what it is. Okay,
So we have a third one there.
check it out. We have tickets for you. So if
Yeah.
anybody's going to be commenting in, it's the only way to get tickets. If you don't, you don't. But you know,
Yeah, if you
you want
free
tickets?
today's
Get
the
on
day,
it.
dude.
We pumped it. We
Yes,
pumped
Dondo's weight. You get tickets.
it. Yeah, well,
As long as
I'm
they
going to have to show you my lower
put
half.
comments.
That won't be too hard. I'm thick.
That's what
Short,
she said.
short and thick, and you pretty much got me.
Wow.
Okay. That's a mouthful.
It is. Well, at least.
So you were at Lights Out. Where was Lights Out at?
Lights Out, Burbank Marriott Convention Center. It's an incredible venue. I love it. It is the newest incarnation of what we once knew as CXF, California Extreme Fighting. That's what it was.
Yes,
And now it is Lights Out Extreme Fighting. Sean Merriman, George Basmajian, Steve Bash throwing a big one. So it's pro fights. It's wonderful. I love it. Done to a very high level for our region, being
Yeah.
all of Southern California, Vegas, maybe some NorCal guys, maybe some Arizona, Utah guys, who knows. For this area, southwestern U.S., it's cool. It's the
Yeah.
cool pro event that I like to attend. That's not to say that there's not cool pro-ams and AMs and everything else, and MMA Events Incorporated definitely on the up from all of that.
The sport itself, man, it's growing. It's booming. It's the best time ever.
Yeah.
California MMA is the best. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. And to further your point, in terms of what's going on in Arizona and whatever, actually, I mean, Lights Out, or CXF, whichever incarnation that you want to call it, I mean, they brought in a Brooke Mayo. They're bringing in people from other regions,
Yeah,
you know, that
yeah, it's growing.
are making moves. So I'm just saying, it's a place to be. And they've got Fox TV, so there's that. So what other promotion is doing that nowadays?
It's so true.
Don't know.
Yeah.
So
Don't
true.
know.
I mean, there's pro NFL players. They're in the lineup now, throwing their fists. What's that all about, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Kinda cool.
Absolutely. And then on the other side of the spectrum, I was at Sparstar MMA at the Commerce Casino.
Yeah, how
shout
do you-
out to
Sparstar.
shout out to Tony Padilla,
Yeah.
Mike
Take
Gross,
it.
and Rick Hollywood.
Right.
What did you
Heather
do there?
Leah?
Did you do anything cool?
I might have done a thing cool, but yes, I got the opportunity to call the fights with the great Kevin Weeda. So you can check that out on the Sparstar MMA Facebook page. You can see the card in its entirety because we got kicked off of YouTube for the
For the
license.
music?
Yeah.
They're quick.
So, that's another thing. Fighters, if you want footage of your fights, don't pick a song that everyone knows. Like, just either get it off of one of those, like, SoundCloud rappers, slide into the DMs and, like, pay him $20 or whatever. I totally understand why King of the Cage does that, like, really abrasive, like, static, generic metal music on every fight. Because guess what? they don't have to pay licensing fees, and they're not going to get pulled off. They're on MAV TV, so that's the reason. That's the method to the madness. So
I get it.
I got it now because like I looked on the. It was actually being basically streamed on the Fight Hub TV YouTube site, which was really cool because they do a lot of boxing, a lot of MMA. If you are fans of both, you know that channel. But it got pulled off midway through because, licensing. So there's that. But yeah, I got to call the fights with Kevin Witos because the great Jonathan King was across town with you guys calling.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, the lights out card with.
It's kind of
Todd
cool
Kennedy,
how that
another-
worked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
was torn. I didn't know where to go, but I figured Woods
Can't
has
be
one.
everywhere.
I can't,
Yeah.
and Robert rolled with me, and
It's a good
You
problem
know?
to have. I mean, there's so many good fights going on right now.
that's a fact. That's a fact. So yeah, very cool. UFC had fights on that night, so MMA was just live that night.
Pretty
I'm
much.
watching live fights, and then I'm watching my phone getting highlights on, the kick to the face that was so unexpected. I thought Holly Holm would do even better, but what do you think?
Oh my
Give me a
gosh.
recap on what you thought about.
Okay, so
fight.
I mean, let's get into the talk of the town. The toast of the town would be Jorge Masvidal. I mean,
So
literally,
Jorge first, yes, that was
Yes.
big news. Yeah, that
I mean, some of the memes that are going around.
Right?
I mean, he knocked him into another dimension, like a Rick
Yeah.
and Morty, Dragon Ball Z type. Like knocked him into a portal, and he's
set a record.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, set the new record for knockout time.
absolutely.
They were saying it was 5 seconds, but I believe it was 3.
Yeah,
I
Wow.
agree.
I believe it was 3 seconds.
Wow.
Because it took 2 seconds for the ref to get over there, and I mean Masvidal threw 2 punches, unanswered punches at
Sure.
Askren,
Yeah.
so that had to happen. So
It happens, like in the heat of the moment, people are saying that how bad it was unsportsmanlike. But dude, you're meant to fight, and when that ref jumps in, that's when you stop punching. He
Yeah.
beat him, then right away he jumped on top of him. People were saying, "Well, that's messed up." He was
No,
knocked
it's
out.
not messed
But
up.
honestly, you need the guy. To me, as a fighter, if I knocked him out, he went to the ground. If I didn't know he was knocked out, I still go after him. I'm gonna wait till the ref pulls me off.
How often do they go after him when they fall down? Every
Everybody's
time.
making a big deal to
Everybody
try to give
that's
up
wise
on-
does it. It's a wise move. Otherwise, they're getting back up and the fight's on.
Did you guys see the post?
Robert has a question for
Did
us.
you guys see the post interview when they asked Jorge Masvidal what he thought? John Morgan asked if he felt that people were saying those punches were unnecessary, and did you hear Masvidal says they were very necessary?
I think they're very
absolutely. And I mean that was a culmination of a lot of trash talk that happened. So
That makes it even more necessary.
right. Absolutely. And I got to respect Gamebred for not basically standing his ground. And because I mean, if Askren won or whatever, I would think that he would be like the Pied Piper. Basically tuning out all the rats and kind of lining the kingdom if he had knocked out Masvidal in the
Yeah.
same fashion.
It's very
You know,
poetic,
so-
yes. I
Yeah.
agree.
So there's that.
It's a nice description.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought it was crazy. I was really excited for that. Like that was, I thought that fight would go maybe 3 rounds and it was just gonna be brutal, and I
Right?
was way off. I
A
was
grind.
off.
I thought it would be a
Yeah,
grind.
Yeah, I thought there was gonna be a chess match for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, you stand up out of your seat and you don't even know what happened. Like,
Right?
It just was
You sneeze and it's
insane. Yeah.
done. It's one of those.
But I mean, the fight for me that I was so excited for was because I love Amanda Nunes.
Yes,
I just
Amanda.
love her. So I thought, okay, I'm a Amanda Nunes fan. She's just gonna punch Holly Holm
Right.
probably at the end of the first round, and it's gonna hurt Holly, and we'll see what happens. I thought that would probably be the end. No way, a kick. No way. That was beautiful though.
It was unreal, yeah. She's proving it over and over that this is not, a fluke,
Yeah.
right? I think with Cyborg, I mean, that kind of sealed the nail in the casket, right? They closed
Yeah,
it up.
absolutely.
And now she's taking out the best of the best. Now the question is, who can we put up against her?
No one.
No.
We were thinking about that all day
Right?
yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no one.
No, and even the fact that I mean, it was kind of put to me by Jesse Rupert Calvin of the Keyboard Warriors podcast. It was poetic justice, right? It was poetic justice that Amanda Nunes knocked out Holly Holm with the same head kick that Holly Holm dispelled to Ronda Rousey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That I mean, does it get any better?
I
Does it?
think Robert said this one was in the face though, so it was a little more brutal.
Yeah, right.
The other one kind of connected under the ear.
Neck, yeah, but I mean, same kick,
Same kick, but man,
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah, and
And
Right in
she
the
landed
moneymaker.
punches right on top. Like
Yeah.
she was all over. She was ready.
And we talk about like who's next, right? And that's easy to say because we kind of want to feed, people to the.
Well, we're feeding our own
desire.
curiosity
Right,
as well.
absolutely.
Like, what do you feed the great white shark that keeps eating people up?
But the thing
I have
about
no
it is,
idea.
we thought that was going to be Cyborg. Honestly, we thought it was going to be, but guess what?
Well,
Look at
I didn't
Venus.
think that. I really didn't think that she'd win Cyborg. I didn't think that was, and it happened. And I was
It
like,
does-
"Whoa!"
yeah.
I didn't think she was beatable.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really didn't. I mean,
Absolutely.
people would take my money if we went back in time. I would have
Right.
I would have put a paycheck out, and I can't live without a paycheck.
On Cyborg.
You and me both, brother.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but I mean, look at the names. We've got knocks out Rousey, chokes out Misha Tate.
Yeah.
What did she do
Beat
to
Kat
Shevchenko?
Zingano.
Kat Zingano,
Shevchenko,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's the cream of the crop
Yeah.
right there. And then Holly.
I
Holly
mean,
Holm.
what are they gonna do? Like bring out Gina Carano out of the mothballs?
Whoa. I'd like to see that myself.
Hey,
Yeah,
Marlo's
I'm a
Cohen.
fan.
Marlo's Cohen. Let's do it.
Anywhere
Julia
Gina
Budd,
goes,
come
I go.
on. Like no, I mean unless there is a situation almost like and not to jump ahead a little bit, but almost to the extent of what we saw with Gilbert Melendez, right? An argument could be made that Gilbert Melendez's skills diminished, right? Or is it the fact that everyone else, and we kind of saw it with Ronda, like everybody else's
Caught up.
skill set is so much higher now, right?
Yeah.
And the same thing with Rockhold, right? Everybody just kind of circumvented, and they're in a situation where for their day, for their time, that was an elite level athlete, MMA fighter, right? But that time has passed,
Yeah.
Famously said, this is the Shogun era, right? And then Jones comes and look,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's how quickly the game moves here in MMA, right? So with that all being said, I don't know if there's another person. But then again, we said that same thing with Cyborg, and
Yeah.
look what happened.
I said it with Anderson Silva.
Too bad Kat got all those losses because Kat's the last person to beat her.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's true.
100%. 100%. So, and unfortunately, like, I would love to see a Kat Zingano, maybe challenge her.
Yeah.
But I also, in good conscience, she talked on Rogan about, her concussions and all of that. And
That was a
I
great
just don't-
interview, by the way.
Right. It was
Very
really good.
eloquently
If you haven't
spoken.
Check that out. Check that out. Kat Zingano and the Joe Rogan Experience.
Everything about Kat I dig. She's just
Yeah,
good people,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
A great story.
And the fact, like her, her husband ended up passing away.
That's crazy.
Like
It's crazy.
for her to even continue to do what she's doing, that's amazing. But in good conscience, I kind of feel a way that I did like with Holloway, pre Ortega, where I was just like, oh my gosh, there's some brain stuff going on. I don't really want to see that, man.
Yeah.
And then what does Holloway do? He goes and scorches Ortega. Like, what in the hell?
Yeah,
You know,
that
you
was
can't-
that was a
Yeah.
brutal one to
Yeah.
watch because I love Brian Ortega, but man,
Kept landing him.
Yeah.
and Max just is a machine.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so I don't know what's next for Nunes, but an interesting caveat that I don't think a lot of people picked up on, and if you did, kudos to you. But the fact that Dana White had said, leading up to this fight, that the 145 title strap, depending on what happened, would be in limbo. I mean, obviously, I'm paraphrasing it, but imagine Amanda Nunes, right? The first double champ in female MMA history, at least in the UFC. Right?
Yeah, no, that's-
would have had, if Holly Holm had walked out with the bantamweight title, she would have also lost the 145 title. Nunes would have.
That's crazy.
right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was all on the line.
Dana White said
How's
that
that possible?
was going to be the 145 title was going to be in a precarious position.
Wow.
Right.
No.
So,
I didn't realize that you could do
Yeah.
away with two titles all in
It's-
one fight.
well,
Yeah,
look at.
yeah.
I mean, literally, they sent Dillashaw to go down to Cejudo to wipe out flyweight. I mean, they do these things.
I
you
get
know?
it. I get it.
Yeah.
We saw how well that worked
Would they
out.
just drop the belt?
Right, absolutely. It's just a weird time, but the accolades are there. Amanda Nunes, my goodness, I mean, she is the GOAT. And when history will look back on UFC 239, we saw arguably the greatest men's pound for pound champion in John Jones,
Yeah.
and the greatest
Female.
in Amanda Nunes, literally have the co and the main event in title fights. Come on.
So do you believe that between Nunez and Jorge this took all the hype away from Jones? Because I know this was a Jones like big comeback, and nobody's really talking about Jones at all. You know, that's what I kind of feel. That you guys feel the same way?
When you finish a fight, that's all they talk about. You
Absolutely.
know? Like,
Because
plus
Jones
that
supposed
fight
to be
was
recovered
complicated.
and,
Yeah.
you know,
To the average fan, to the average
Yeah.
person that watches saw that particular John Jones fight, probably looked boring to me. But I think the true, not true, but people that understand the sport a little bit better, like understood that it's just two guys that know each other so well, and they competed. They just kept blocking each other, kept matching each other, and it's hard to understand. Like even
Right.
me, I was like, shoot, I don't know what's happening.
And then Blake Truth is chiming in.
Blake Troop.
I'm not sure if you read this comment. Nunez versus what's that last name?
Henry Cejudo?
That's what he's saying.
Yes. Yeah.
You read his mind.
Troop is.
He said a gender.
Yeah, you know
I
what?
think he's
gender
100%
bender.
Right.
I
I'd
mean-
watch that fight. I would pay to watch that fight.
Yeah.
I think Amanda Nunez could win. I'm gonna go on
Really?
record right now. Yeah,
Wow. I
she's
can-
that good.
Yeah, she is.
And she loves the sport. She smiles before she knocks everyone
Oh, yeah,
out.
I
Like
see
it's
that.
just crazy.
That would be. I guess at today's Slammiversary they did Tessa Blanchard versus I forgot Sammy Callahan, right?
Right.
That would make Amanda Nunes almost like China of the MMA, where she goes and defeats the men. But I don't know that. What is next for? It's funny because they're both
What's
in the
next
same.
for either one of them? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What's next for Cejudo? What's next for Nunes? Is there anybody?
What's next for Jones?
What's next for Jones? And that's
It's an interesting place to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I guess we'll have to wait and see. The end of the year is coming. It always seems like the big blow up is at the end of the year.
I was gonna say, like, what is that? The winter's coming? Is that
Right.
tipping the hat to the Game of Thrones or whatever?
Well, if I
Did
watch,
you
maybe.
see the injury that Santos has?
I did
Yeah.
not.
Whole
Tell me
knee.
about this.
It's his entire knee. I believe it's his left knee. It's
Yeah.
Oh, God.
all of it.
Mm.
Redo the whole
Brutal.
leg, basically. Could be a year.
Really?
Feel really bad, but I guess it happened to him in the first round.
Mm.
So that just shows what an athlete he is.
Yep.
If that's true. One of the kicks, from my understanding, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What is he called?
I
the,
don't know.
The MCL to the
What's the kick
piece.
called? What is it called? What's it called?
Oblique calf.
Robert's asking what it's called. I know people can't hear him, but
Well,
oblique.
it's-
Oblique.
Yeah.
Lead kick,
The oblique.
part of the game.
Oblique.
That's, my goodness, and it's funny because a lot of people are kind of downgrading Jones's performance in terms of, like, with a bunch of highlight level knockouts and submissions, where does Jones fall, right? But the thing about Jones, and I didn't really get it until I heard like Brendan Schaub below the belt on the way over, and Jones's ideology, and this is probably why we haven't seen him go to heavyweight, is the fact that he wants to have 20 title defenses at light heavyweight, right?
Wow.
So he's up against himself. The only person that has gotten close to the title defense record is Mighty Mouse, and the great Anderson Silva, basically setting the tone with the middleweight division. So
Yep.
Jones is, literally in an effort to preserve himself, I guess.
Yeah.
To build his own legacy once again is
Right,
more like
absolutely.
it.
So
Because it's a little tarnished.
Yeah. A little smidge.
It's a little hard. Yeah, come
but,
on.
But the thing about it is, Floyd Mayweather started out as like a literal buzzsaw, right? He was starching people,
Yeah.
and then once he got to that upper echelon where he started making money and knew that regardless of whatever, people were going to start doing fights and whatever, he kind of, I don't want to say that he took his foot off of the gas, but it definitely wasn't as compelling as his earlier career,
Sure.
right? So with that all being
He took
said,
a lot less damage.
Absolutely.
As he grew and the footwork changed and he was all over the place.
Right.
A lot more elusive.
Absolutely. And not saying that's the case with Jones, right? But the thing about it is, if we went with that theory, if we fully adopted that theory, that even a Jones with his foot off of the gas could do that to Santos,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's a scary dude.
Well, the hospital
That's
trip
a
alone,
scary
right?
dude.
Terrifying, dude.
Come on. Yeah, your bones and your joints aren't made to take that kind of damage. Clearly, right?
And he's so accurate.
Absolutely.
Just-
So it's a crazy deal. But again, like I said, these things, because big fights happen, it seems like almost every weekend, right? But again, when we look back at UFC 239, the best men and the best women combat sports athlete of all time
Yeah.
fought on the same card in the
Yeah.
and main event respectively for their respective titles.
At this time, yes.
Jim Crasher breaking news.
Ooh.
Tell us.
I
Here we
think I
go.
know.
Joey the Bull.
think I know.
Mr. Blake the Troop just said Troop versus John Jones.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
hell yeah.
Hey,
Hell
book
yeah.
it.
I'd watch that.
Hey,
I'd
Uncle
watch that
Dana,
too,
book
yeah.
that.
Right?
Uncle
Let's
Dana.
get Blake Troop
Is
on the
Dana
contender.
listening? Is he
Yeah,
here?
absolutely he is. Why wouldn't he? Right? Of
course
it's not like
he
he's
is.
got busier things to
Yeah.
do, like a contender series.
He
on
comes
a
to
Tuesday
us for
night.
information.
Yeah.
We should start doing a lot of promos for Blake the Troop here and just send it to Dana White and say, dude, let's make it happen.
Yeah. why
Well, we
not?
do a lot of. We do.
I think
a lot
we
of.
did, yeah.
Hold up. Producer.
Producer Robert does
Producer
a lot
Rob.
of stuff for him.
Because you guys mentioned the contender series.
Shout out to Jacob Rosales.
Yeah. Did you see his post?
No.
I did not know this, but Jacob Rosales is a warrior.
Yep.
That guy had a broken fibula 4 weeks ago or something. Took his cast off 2 weeks ago so he could fight on contenders and kept that shit quiet.
Wow.
It didn't go his way, but of course, he left it all in there.
Oh,
But dude, that kid is crazy.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I
Seriously
guess
seriously hurt himself.
that's the guy you want. That's who Dana should sign. The
That's
guy
always
who
the guy. I already
has
knew
a
that.
and the funny part is, like, you know how people talk shit? Homeboy posted himself with the cast on lifting weights because he had no cardio. He said he gassed. And so
Oh.
he has all these, he has his, and I don't think he's making excuses. He's just, like, stating a
He's saying
fact.
what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is what it
absolutely.
is, bro. He came in 4 weeks ago with a broken fibula, took his cast off 2 weeks ago, and decides, fuck it, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to just try to make my dream happen. So
Absolutely.
big up to Jacob.
Now I gotta work
Absolutely.
harder.
And if
Yeah.
he's going through all that pain, I mean, he should help our boys, Our Life CBD,
Yeah.
to cure his
Yeah, you
ailment.
should.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh,
No one saw that. We're not live.
You
on
can't
YouTube.
catch, bro. I mean, isn't it part?
like literally, I need more Our Life CBD. That just shows it proof positive that I need more.
You must play
Because-
soccer.
Sweaty
Is
palms.
soccer?
I'm
I
just saying,
know,
you can't
no.
catch where it's-
Hey, I was gonna say I'm not sucking anyone. So
Cricket.
there's that.
Where he
It's
comes
that
from,
over
it's
there.
cricket.
But Our Life
Or
CBD
cricket.
is where
Fiji
it's
is
at.
cricket.
or coconuts.
Our live CBD.
That's what they play cricket with coconuts there. I think so.
As long as it's not my coconuts, I'm good.
Well,
There we go. 10 points.
his nuts are smothered in cocoa. Smells good. I
smells
love Our Life
amazing.
CBD.
It is. Oh.
Check it
It's all
out.
local out of Huntington Beach.
It is local and it is manufactured
This is
in Huntington
awesome.
Beach. Yes.
Wow.
But if they're listening, I mean, watching us in Czechoslovakia, it's not local. But I'm sure that Our Life CBD can get that out to you. if
Watch
it's
us in
legal.
Poland. I know for sure.
Yeah. Apologies to all the
And Ireland.
Czechoslovakia.
I might have offended
There you go.
by saying local.
Oh, dare you, bastard.
There you go. There you go.
But good stuff. I don't know if Robert zoomed in on that label, but the Our Life label's
zoom.
behind
get the zoom.
Alan's head. It's right there. It's up above.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the goods. I can't sleep without it. I ingest it. I put the topical on.
It's amazing.
It's the goods.
Very cool.
I gotta
Shout out
have
to
it.
Cauliflower Nation and Massage Matters.
Yeah.
Our great
Massage
sponsors here.
lives matter.
Absolutely, along with Our Life CBD. Can't be more honored to have you guys a part of the Gym
And
Crashers.
MMA Events Incorporated, our homeboys. That's why they're here.
Yeah. Because we love you guys.
The family is growing.
Yeah.
Right? Right.
Yeah. So, Gilbert Melendez.
Gilbert, my goodness. And I don't believe that his skills have diminished. I really, really believe
I
that.
think people are catching up to him.
I think people are developing those skills. They've watched him. So he's a pioneer in the sport. He helped build it to what it is. So people knew, and the people that are up against him know what it takes. So they've had to step themselves up, right?
Yeah.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. So, I mean, it's a kind of weird situation that Gilbert finds himself because he, before stepping into the octagon on Saturday night, he had the distinction of having a record, a rather dubious one at that, in having the longest layoff in UFC history.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and this
That's
is
rough. That's
at
rough to
least
come back
2
from.
years? Close, either a little over, a little under 2 years.
It's 2 years, man.
You know?
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Wow.
And imagine, you take a week off of jiu-jitsu, you take a week off of striking,
Yeah.
it can feel like a whole nother world,
Mhm.
right? Let alone 2 years. And not to say that he wasn't training all this time, but again,
At that level,
yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So,
as an elite athlete,
absolutely.
and he was leading at all times. Yeah, it's hard to take the foot off the pedal and get it back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, he's got he's got a lot of things going. Obviously, his wife, Carrie Ann, fights. He's an active manager and coach to her career, as well as all of the other guys and girls that are coming out of the scrap pack, So, he's got other things. And I hope he kind of taps into the other things that he's doing, and let's be...
He's still a legend. I mean, no two ways about it.
Absolutely.
So I guess the question is, where do we see Gilbert in the next, few bouts? I don't think by any means he's done. So is there a
No.
comeback? Is there potential for contention again?
I hope he has a Joe Rogan in his corner, and circling back to the infamous Brendan Schaub speech, bro. And not to say that he's not an elite fighter, he totally is.
Yeah.
But his time is done. He's doing stuff with ESPN in terms of breaking down, like techniques
Why
and
not?
everything like that. So he's got to the promised land. For a guy that competed in a sport where, I mean, a lot of times his fights weren't even sanctioned in his home state, right? To get TV on ESPN, and he's at the helm on ESPN breaking down the things that he learned.
Just because he has our dream job, right?
Just saying.
We're on Pox News with Pox, but
Just want to
Yeah.
give a quick shout out to some of our viewers out there. We got Blake Troop, we got Mindy Hinojosa, DJ SoCal is watching,
DJ SoCal.
and Big Surge
Estrada.
is
Yeah,
What's
the
up, bro?
Cut
That
guy
works
works
champion,
hard.
he's saying.
That guy
Damn
works
right.
hard.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
He's
gosh.
watching right now.
He's
All right.
probably here
Shout out-
doing work. Like,
Yeah.
where's he? He's just,
Yeah.
That guy's a hustler.
Yeah, shout out to Big Surge.
Seriously.
First met him at, funny enough, the first
Yeah.
MMA Events Inc. show with Cupcake
Yeah.
Jake Weiss. And
Cupcake Jake.
yeah, absolutely.
I love that
That
name.
was some fun times and some
Yeah.
cool
They helped
memories.
us out
were
a
created.
lot.
Yeah,
They helped us
absolutely.
out a
So
bit,
shout out to
yeah.
Mindy, Mrs. Hinojosa, not Santana, because kayfabe kids, and Blake
Kayfabe.
Troop. Blake Troop.
Like, Troop.
Blake Troop.
Bulletproof.
How are we going to give away these tickets?
I don't know.
I asked you guys to come up with a clever idea.
That was the first.
I asked
that was the
Robert.
first-
Yeah.
He pitched it right
Just
back
pick
to
a
me.
random person
Absolutely.
watching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
so,
have to do that. We'll give it a little time and figure
Yeah.
out who tunes in, and Joey keep us
And
posted.
they're going
And
to get a free Our Live CBD ointment, right? One of these?
ointment.
Wow.
This guy gives away a
Tickets
lot
to
of
MMA
CBD.
Events Inc.
Swear,
and
dude.
free CBD. What in the?
You know why?
Must be 18 and over.
You know what?
What in the what?
I'm gonna become a viewer, and I'm gonna just do that, and I'm gonna enter myself in. How about that?
You can
I'm
come
in.
for free. It's okay. Like, I'm inviting you right now.
Okay, that's it. Nobody will notice. Come on, dude.
Swing on over.
Yeah.
Jamal Harris is watching.
Jamal
Oh,
Harris.
Harris, what's up, dude? You showed incredible heart on Saturday.
That's
So,
that's absolutely
Chris,
right.
Chris is a bad dude, man.
I will always be there when Jamal Harris fights because it's an incredible thing to
Absolutely.
watch. And regardless of the results, he still came in and did his thing. Right?
Yeah.
That's what you do.
absolutely.
It's an incredible guy.
Yeah, and just shout out to all the guys and girls that competed at both Lights Out, Spar Star,
Star.
and any other card that was
Yeah.
going on this weekend. Because you guys are the real heroes.
Yeah.
I was blown away. I mean, it was the level of
Without
fighting.
them, we'd have nothing to talk about.
Right.
At all.
Yeah,
Yes, Robert.
Surge is asking, where do I sign up for that CBD contest?
We'll get you
right
on it.
here,
Yeah,
right
just
here.
be here. Just
We
watch.
got you, Big Surge.
We're,
entire
we're making
hour.
it super easy.
We're going to talk to the president and CEO all about you right now.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
listening.
Yeah.
So the one thing that got me super excited was Jamal and what his name was
Chris McLean. Yeah,
was
Chris
the first
McLean.
fight in the card, right? So
Yeah.
I'm back in the back,
Comes
That's
in with a
great.
Rams jersey on.
and then
Oh,
I'm not kidding you.
and then
That's
I was just just seeing some kind of commotion. I guess they brought them two out to the area
To
before
face
they
off.
walk out, and then they weren't supposed to. There's usually one at a time, right? And there was like big commotion. I guess they were like wanting to fight each other backstage already. So
Like
then
it.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be live.
Sell
I'm
those
gonna
tickets.
watch
Right?
this, yeah. And then like Jamal just like whatever's, bro. Like he was chill, like he was just like the other dude was getting really aggressive, and he was like, we're about to do this anyways. Like, what's going on? Let's do this.
Jamal wants to fight, and he wants. I mean, regardless of what happened, he
Yeah.
wants to fight again. I know it. It's in his heart to
Because I
fight.
remember him walking up to me and talking
Months
to me
ago.
about at CXF that he
Yeah.
wanted to get on a card. So I was really
Last
happy
year.
to see him
Yeah.
on that
Absolutely.
card.
That was last year.
Yeah, and again, Chris is. I mean, if you were there at Knockouts promotion a couple weeks ago, you can see what type of level of athlete Chris McLean is. So even to sign on the dotted line against that guy, whew,
Salute.
I'm just saying.
He kind of has the superhero look.
And Jamal says, "Hey, thanks, guys. Going to work harder for the next time, for the next one."
Just keep
Can't
working,
wait.
man.
We'll be there. You let us know. We'll be there.
Already working hard.
I love that.
crazy, man.
Yeah, no,
I love
you
this
know what? After that fight, he looked like he was ready to go. In fact, even backstage, they had to tell him, "Hey, take it easy." So Jamal's always ready to go.
Yeah, so shout out to you, Jamal.
That's right. That's a fact. You know what's interesting to me? MMA Events Incorporated is coming up July 27th, Pasadena Convention Center, but they have a jiu-jitsu tournament coming up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I should probably talk about that.
I was like, I didn't mean not to bring it up, so here it is.
Wow,
I mean,
cool.
tell me about what's going on
That's actually
with
how we got
that.
started. We started just doing grappling tournaments. Just wanted to be
Love
more
that.
organized. And then it was cool because it was a big passion of mine. I wanted to be all ages and all skill sets because I really thought like no one's really helping the younger audience, and they're always there. They're always
Right.
watching. They're
Yes,
always
they
seeing
are.
their older sibling or their uncle, their aunt, or their parents doing this. So
Yeah.
dude, it's been cool. It's been really, really cool. And then now you see other organizations like Dream BJJ. We love you guys. Like, have
Yeah.
you guys ever heard of that?
I dig Dream.
Yeah,
Oh my
Dream. They give out
gosh.
titles too.
They're amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and so it's kind of cool just to see like other good things coming about it. So it's just an all ages skill set. We have Milton the Diamond working with us, 10 Planets working with us, and
Cool.
everyone's invited. It's going to be in Laverne the week before,
Yeah.
so pretty stoked. And
I
then
like
we have
that.
a karate tournament the next day.
What?
Yeah.
You're
So-
taking
Busy.
Kung Fu fighting?
So that's Saturday, Sunday. So Saturday's jiu-jitsu, Sunday's karate, and then
I
the
gotta
next
get
week
out to
we'll
all
be
of
doing
this.
MMA.
When's this
Yeah.
again?
Coming up.
20th and 21st this month. So soon.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we'd like to stay busy, dude. Put too much on our plate.
So on top of all of this, they were in Belize, and I don't know that there's ever been an MMA event in Belize other than MMA Events Incorporated.
Not sanctioned. So what we want to do is be the first ones to be legal and organized with refs that were not from your gym or from your organization.
Yeah.
So we did that. We pulled that off. And then it was really cool, man. About a month ago, we were able to take Albert Morales.
Yes.
And he's from Belize. Like, he's Belizean.
I didn't even
a
know he was
warrior.
Belizean. I knew Albert from
We-
here.
We got the sponsor to take care of it. We came down and they rented a gym and
So
just gave a
stoked.
free class. And it was, dude, it was emotional.
To
Happened to be
kids.
Albert's birthday.
Yeah.
People came from all over the island.
He's like Michael
he's a
Jackson in
celebrity.
Belize, yeah.
Yeah, he really is. He's
Right?
a big deal.
Who's the most famous Belizean you know?
It's-
Albert Morales.
It's Albert Morales. He's a big part of that culture, and they all
Right.
look up to him. And he's a great role model, man. I mean, you can't ask for like a more humble athlete. Like
Right.
shaking hands, taking photos, like
Kissing
he
babies.
waited like 10, 12 hours, bro. Just free lessons over and over and over. Like,
I got to
he
get
just
down there
wanted
with
to
you
teach
guys. That's just like to see
Yeah.
your event, to go with those fighters, with Albert and the crew,
Yeah.
with Alan and his crew. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to grow the sport.
I gotta
every
get
way that
down
we
there.
can. It just happens to be that we know someone from Belize, and that's why we like that market. So,
It's so cool,
Yeah.
dude. I dig that.
so we'll take this with us.
Oh, I don't know. It might be illegal there.
This would be big. No, this would be 100% legal.
If it's legal in Belize, yeah, but good luck.
We'd be saving them. Yeah, come on out.
I know when you're crossing borders, sometimes CBD has a different meaning
The
to
plan
some
is to
people.
be out there in November. So
We had
we'll
we had a non-believer earlier that scared us. Could you imagine if he was the president? Be in trouble. I'd have been locked up a long time ago.
Wow.
No, that's the truth.
Hey, John De La O for president of Belize,
That's
2020.
right. That's good luck. Don't say that to him. He might try to nuke it. Don't say that to him. He's like, where is that and what's that all about? Bam!
So there's that.
Yeah, you know what? Are you talking about the beer company? Yeah, bring it on over. Alan does have a double job. He's like Batman. He takes off the mask and he's got something else. Oh, that's
We
not
can
his?
give them
them.
love. Yeah.
We can blow him up, but it's
I
not
have
his
no
product.
clue. I have no clue. It's just a really good
Docent.
product.
Is it in Doheny? Is it Dana Point?
San Juan Capistrano.
San Juan.
Yeah.
I am.
And they just
Is
make
it?
fantastic products.
Sunset
so.
and Doheny?
No, that's another. Sunset Doheny's a troubadour, fool. I know you don't live there. No, you can't fool me.
I'm geographically challenged, I guess.
Yeah,
It's okay.
Yeah.
it's all
We
good.
can help you.
I wished you lived on Sunset Doheny. I'd visit you more.
Okay. Yay!
That's the party
We're going
place.
to one of them.
That
Sunset
is-
and Doheny, we coming for you.
That's the party place, dude. I dig it right there. Whoa, what did he say? How come he didn't
I
get
had a Booker
censored?
T moment. Damn it. Calm down.
Someone
Yeah.
censor this man.
All right. It happens.
Yeah.
Damn.
I got the.
I'm glad you said it happens. It just happens to me more.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like the hair. So I cut it because it gets.
You got a
nappy.
haircut?
No, my hair ran away from my face. It just doesn't happen in this configuration. yeah. But that
He
happens.
was getting tired of the Brillo look.
The Brillo?
Yeah, the Brillo look, absolutely. Like when my wife uses my head as a chowboy to fucking
Polish
the spaghetti.
Polish the rims on her car.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Polish.
I got some McGuire's. Get over here.
Yeah,
Hey, don't put it
Polish
next to a
out the
Velcro
silverware.
jump house.
yeah. Jumbo's Funhouse. Wow.
So repeat that. Repeat that on.
They're 13s, but I keep them real clean.
Wow.
Oh, his 13s are clean.
Wow.
Are you rolling on
Okay.
13s on your Prius?
No, I don't want to hear anything about 13. There was
Okay.
like a couple gangs and whatever. I rolled into England last night. I just don't want to get
Gotcha.
shot and whatever.
Gotcha. He
But,
rolls.
I mean, realistically, Inglewood has changed. The only risk that you would have of getting shot in Inglewood now is probably by a hipster offering you a wheatgrass shot. So there's that.
Oh, we got Mary Kay Woods watching.
Mary Kay Woods.
Hey,
Hey.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Yeah, you
I'm
see?
taking Adam out after this. It's true.
There's a Belizean strip club that they know in LA.
None of this
They
is
don't
good.
exist. They
None
don't
of this is
exist,
happening.
dude.
They don't have them there?
No,
They don't do
not that
that?
I know of. I don't know. That's the wrong. Like,
Pleading the
It's
fifth.
somebody's basement.
It's south of the border. Trust
Is
me.
that like a
Someone's
Joe Rogan
roadhouse.
It's happening.
UFC stripper Dothan, Alabama story?
Tell us.
Like where they're all
Spit it out.
toothless. Oh, it's on. This is not happening, right? Joe Rogan's deal. The first time he went to Dothan, Alabama, there was a fighter and whatever, and he took him to an after-hours strip club in Dothan, Alabama. It was like a shack, and they were all methed out and whatever. Yeah.
Damn,
It's-
I don't wanna
put your
go
hairy
there.
palms together for
What do you call
sunlight.
What do you call that?
Palms. That's a great fight name. Harry Palms.
Here we go, Robert. What's up?
Jamal just reminded me about the fight of the night. Do you remember the fight of the night?
Let me
For
think
what
really hard.
promotion, though?
He's talking
Oh.
about Lights Out.
Lights
so
Lights Out,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
fight of the night would have been. Hang on.
Very first pro fight.
Well, then spit it at me.
Julian Baez.
Oh, you know what?
that
Jekyll and
fight.
Hyde Baez.
Jekyll and Hyde
That
Baez.
fight was.
I don't know that.
He called me out for putting him number 2 on my Instagram. That wasn't the case. I just can't fit all the pictures on the first page. So I am coming to you, Julian Baez. I know if you're watching this, if you see this later, I'm going to come to your gym and I will do the sit-down interview with you, and it'll be on my Instagram. It'll be on our Gym Crasher page. Whatever I can do to make that up to you, because you mean that much
Hey,
to us.
I'm coming with you because the first time I interviewed Mr. Baez was after he won the Camo State title at Sparstar MMA after already winning the CFL championship.
That was a
And
big
I
one.
think at least one other.
Yeah.
So he's like a triple champion. as
He's
he
coming
ascended
off
to-
a loss the last time we saw him, and you know he came back strong, and he fought his heart out. It was all 3 rounds,
Wow.
and won by decision, and I can just see the heart in him. He's really, really ready to go. So yeah, just
Comes
a great
from
guy.
Great family. Great
No,
gym.
great family. His whole family was there. I think he sold
Yeah,
all the tickets to
absolutely.
his family. The Baez family was all there.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And under the tutelage of the great, the master of Kaiju MMA, the great Gabe Godzilla Rudinger.
Right.
Can't say enough good things about Gabe.
That whole crew.
Yeah, absolutely. Darion Chapman,
Yep.
who also fought on the Lights Out card.
Darian Chapman, that was a tough one, man. Hats out to you, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had him on, on
Facebook
Adam.
Live, yeah,
you had him
Facebook
on the
Live
show,
last week.
right?
Great dude. I mean, I love that dude. So you can't pay me enough to say any bad things about that guy. I just
So-
love him, his family. They're fucking awesome.
So we talk about the final fight for Chad George,
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk
the
about
retirement fight.
that. Wow.
Yeah. How was well? First off, how was that? I was able to catch up with Chad the Tuesday before the fight. I know Dondo, you got with him after the fight.
Yeah.
He was almost like a
It's
monk.
right here. CMMA, Originals, Jiu-Jitsu. These are the guys. And Chad and Mike Hermosillo are the homies. And
Absolutely,
here it is, the final fight of a 15-year career.
absolutely.
High-level, high-profile fighter. Previous to this was Bellator. Win against James Muka Woods. James Muka Barnes.
Barnes.
Sorry,
Muka Barnes.
Woods.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, your brother Woods.
Love that guy. I love that guy too. I love
Muka.
everyone, first off.
Yes,
There's
Muka's
that.
from the same dojo we operate in.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, Chad is just an amazing guy. He had a group of the children that train at CMMA in their white gis with their belts on backstage, and they walked him out
Oh,
for his final fight. I
incredible.
mean, come on.
That's incredible.
You know,
Jeez.
I'm used to thinking about, Mayhem Miller walking out with strippers and doing his thing. This guy walks out with kids in their gis and just he's giving up his moment, his shine to the kids that train at his dojo, giving them a chance to see what it's like to step in the cage. And he brought a couple youngsters out even before the fight. Everybody's getting set up, cage getting put together. Chad brought them out on the walkway because at Lights Out, there's a walkway where they bring the fighters out and the lights are on and you got a 100-foot screen behind them. And he showed them what it was like to walk out like a champ and do the walk to the cage and get checked out before they put you in.
Wow.
So, again, he's an amazing guy, and he sold a multitude of tickets. That was a sold-out event, and there were Savage shirts everywhere.
Yeah, there were. I
Right?
Like in everyone's photos.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's crazy. So, yeah, the culmination of a 15-year career, a big win for him. We saw basically the tutelage of what he does. He got an ankle, he got a knee bar, he got the front headlock system, he got the guillotine, he moved to the anaconda. He had the heel hook, right? The heel hook looked like the foot would pop off.
Wow.
I
Wow.
don't know how the opponent managed to fight that off, because anybody else that has been in the cage or on a mat with Chad George knows that when he locks something up, he locks it up.
Yeah.
So you may as well tap early, or you're going to lose an appendage.
He
Absolutely.
saved himself by centimeters. That kid, he had the toe under the armpit.
Give Robert the microphone, because nobody can hear what he's saying. I know this because I watch my own show afterwards and I never hear it.
Yeah, so
Tell us again.
It was deep. I mean, that kid was in all bunch of trouble. He had the foot on the tailbone. He was pushing away. He created just enough space, just that little bit of space where that front toe wasn't totally, I guess, locked in. But I swear, I thought that was enough. I didn't think it was.
How did he get to the ground? Recap this, how Chad got to the ground.
I don't know. I don't remember if it was a slip, but I think
It
it was a
was.
slip. He slipped a little bit.
Chad is bold enough to Imanari roll right in the middle of a fight, of an MMA fight, which I don't see often.
No.
But yet he slipped and threw his legs up, and he was in 50-50. It looked like right away ready to take the guy down, went for an
he
ankle.
took him down, and then
Immediately.
and I was already working on that. Yeah, it was pretty cool. But I'll let you guys finish. And then
You sure?
Yeah.
You don't want to throw that in? Okay, but hats off to Chad.
Yeah, man.
Congratulations.
What a
Absolutely.
career.
And I mean, look at the, leading up to this, obviously he's taking a step back to really focus on the athletes, young and tenured athletes at CMMA, right? And then, obviously we've got CMMA Southgate, a second location, under the tutelage of
Yeah.
our friend Mike Hermosillo.
It's huge.
Right? But, I mean, leading up to this, we had Cody Davis, winning a knockouts title a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
We have, Taylor Faro fighting on the same
Taylor Alfaro fights when nobody even knows he's fighting. Right?
Yeah.
He's fighting for Royal Engelbrecht at an event I didn't even know about, wins it.
Yeah.
We talked to him the next day. He's getting ready for this fight.
Absolutely.
And so
Yeah.
he just gets
Always
up and
on the
goes.
move.
Alfaro's
Yeah.
always fighting.
Always on the move, right? We've got Sotiro Sasaki, right, who just came back to the gym on Tuesday,
Yeah.
which was kind of cool.
Cooper Gibson.
Chase
Fights
Gibson.
almost on the border of Mexico and Texas.
Yeah.
Wins. Comes back. Chase Gibson's brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is all recent. This
Yeah.
is Combates Americas.
right. Dominic Clark.
Dominic, back-to-back.
Lights out champion.
Back-to-back wins with Dominic. First season's beatings, we got him. And we got him at the very first Lights Out, hanging out with the homies for the second Lights Out.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of incredible the amount and the footprint that Chad George leaves on the present day.
The stable
MMA.
of fighters.
Right, absolutely.
Constant
So-
stable of fighters coming out of CMMA.
And when you talk about Chad George, when you talk about Gabe Rudinger, if you're talking about guys who have seen and done it all fought internationally, check, they've done it, whatever, and they're getting the next level of the sport, kind of ready, and it's kind of cool because you don't see like Michael Jordan kind of giving back, to
Yeah.
And not even at that level. Does Chad have Michael Jordan's, health, wealth, everything else that,
Right.
it's just,
Yeah.
Chad had a broken back and was told that he'd never fight again or do jiu-jitsu. So I didn't know this about him. It was something that was told to me only recently because I didn't know him back then. But he broke his back in such a way that when they reconstructed the man that we know today, they told him no more, and they meant it, and he didn't listen.
Wow.
Real quick, I met Chad George probably like 5-6 years ago at my job because what he wanted, him and his partner wanted to have a kiosk built to sell shirts, MMA shirts.
I love it.
And I didn't know who he was at first.
He has
Like,
killer shirts.
He was telling me like, oh, he fought in MMA. I'm like, let me look up Shirt Dog. And he was there. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Guy came in, the humblest guy ever. I thought he was
Just a
going to be
dude.
some like, prick, whatever. But no, he was a really good guy. We communicated, and the whole back issue. I knew about the back issue because I remember we're talking about.
That was fresh then, 5 years ago. Good Lord.
Yeah,
He
but
may
like,
not
this
even have
is-
known the future.
This was when I had my own training class going on. And
Yeah.
I kept trying to have him come down to meet the kids, but he was so busy that he couldn't do that. So, which was all good, but he was a very humble, like, individual, and he was
Cool.
really cool. So
I don't doubt that.
Great guy,
Yeah.
great guy.
You know?
Abso-
And then I would be remiss not to talk about something really cool that happened, and it has a really big tie to MMA Events Inc. An MMA Events Inc. product in the Sit-Your-Tongue Warrior, Gilbert Nakatani, in his pro debut,
Yeah, pro debut.
winning
man.
via Bulldog Choke, which, by the way, there may or may not be a viewing party for Gilbert Nakatani on Thursday at 8 o'clock in downtown LA. It all goes down in the DM. So if you guys want more information on that, follow the MMA Events Inc. social media pages. But
I'll be in downtown on Thursday, so you just let me know.
There you
should
go.
go.
Because I'm
Absolutely.
not good with
Yeah.
DMs or anything like that. So somebody has to shoot me the address and a
Slide
time
into
or
yours.
I won't know.
Slide into
Okay,
yours.
absolutely.
And by the way, Julian Jekyll and Hyde,
Baez.
Baez!
Baez.
Baez!
There you go.
Jekyll.
Way to work.
You know what?
Way to
Shout
work.
out to Julian Jekyll and Hyde
Shout out.
Baez.
Yeah.
That's right. Congrats.
Really?
And Gabe
Yo,
Rudiger.
Gabe!
Man, the
That's
team.
one of my heroes.
The
Like,
captain.
legit, Gabe Rudinger is one of my heroes.
Yeah.
That's
Point
cool.
to him.
Absolutely.
Tell him
You
you're my
know it.
hero.
You're my hero, Gabe. There it is.
We got to get
moment,
both of those
yeah.
guys on the show because they're for real and we want to find out more about them and, talk
Yeah.
about stuff.
Absolutely.
That's the best way to do it. Producer Robert's got something to say.
I like following Gabe Rudiger on Facebook. He has awesome threads sometimes. He has awesome. There was one a long time ago about like something that happened on the freeway. That one's pretty funny. And there's like
Yes.
other coaches that talk shit to him or
Yeah.
like from wherever the F it is. And
Yeah.
then when they go back and forth, that shit cracks me up.
You,
Yes.
should, you should throw it up behind us. But we're coming up on that clock.
Yeah.
You know what you should throw up behind us is Disneyland.
Disney. So
Oh,
throw that up.
Dude, I don't like watching this.
He decided not to.
Robert decided not to
I
because...
want people to be able to access this show.
Okay.
Because every Disneyland video that's on YouTube has that disclaimer.
Got it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so Robert
Yeah,
has
we don't
told
wanna
us...
get
Well, if you
kicked
go
off.
under World Star, it's around the World Star.
We don't want to lose our show for Disneyland, but if anybody wants to see, go on YouTube.
No, not
And
YouTube.
if any-
World Star.
World
if anybody
Star.
at Disneyland wants our show, shoot us a DM. We might be available. I'm just saying. We work really hard to get paid really high.
Yeah, really.
So there you go.
So I read something about Combate America on the, recently.
What's up?
That they signed Tito.
Tito Ortiz.
Is that true?
Absolutely.
I heard that.
Is it
That
true?
actually went down at the.
That's a quick turnaround from Bellator.
Combate Americas
Right?
Arenas here at the Galen Center
So
at
Golden
USC.
Boy, Bellator. like,
We were
right
there.
Combate.
But here we go.
He was there.
Here we go. The fight has just been announced about an hour's time ago. So it's going to be UFC Hall of Famer Tito Ortiz versus Alberto Del Rio.
Alberto.
Del Rio.
Alberto Del
Yes.
Rio.
And you're like, why is a wrestler fighting Tito Ortiz? Well, if you guys don't know, Alberto Del Rio in his previous incarnation
Was a fighter.
was Dos Caras, El Hijo de Dos Caras, the son of Dos Caras, right? Coming from a pristine lucha libre lineage, his dad being Dos Caras, his uncle being Mil Mascaras, but Alberto Rodriguez.
Speaking
was
a language
actually-
I have no idea about, but tell me more.
Yeah. Alberto Rodriguez, his given name,
wrestler and a fighter.
was going to the Olympics for Mexico to represent Mexico in 2000, but they didn't sponsor a team, so
As
that's
what?
how he went to Japan and got head kicked by Milker Krokop in a
It
mask.
was judo.
Okay, so he was a judo Olympian.
No, wrestling.
A wrestling
wrestling,
Olympian.
yeah.
Okay.
Wrestling Olympian.
Thank you for clarifying.
Absolutely, wrestling Olympian.
and all of that
well,
hype, I
mean,
couldn't get
not
it.
even a-
That knockout's hard.
Yeah,
dude.
and
Mirko
Krokop
Krokop
hits
at
his
that
face.
time? Come
Yeah,
on.
hits his face.
Yeah,
Right?
with the
It's
mask.
never been the same ever
Yeah,
since.
so
He had his superpower underwear on. He was ready to go with the checkerboards on him, right?
Right. Kick
You
your
put
head off.
checkerboards on me, watch out.
Oh, Crow Cop, man.
right? Yeah.
Old Crow Cup, I loved watching. Brutal.
Now I know we're gonna get some kind of hate mail, and you can send it to according.
Send it to
Woods.
According to Woods,
Okay,
please.
sure.
I don't
Absolutely.
read. I mean, I barely
But
scan.
Here's the thing: everybody that gets on Combate Americas, gets on Bellator for putting on these quote unquote freak show fights, right?
But we all tune in.
Right, we all tune in for one, right? And two, look at what it's going to do for the undercard. That I'm excited to see that on a Tito Del Rio card, we're going to see maybe a Chase or Cooper Gibson. We're going to see a Froggy Estrada, a Heinrich Wassmer. Like all of these up and coming talent.
Who's our friend in Mexicali?
Oh, yes.
Name it.
Lucero Acosta. And
That's
shout
right.
out to
Shout
Team
out.
United in San Diego.
Right.
Under.
You can't bring up Combate and not bring up the homies,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
I actually did. I was like, I went through 5 of them. But anyway.
Oh, more of them. More of them.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
but,
Get them all in there.
I'm excited to see that on what is probably going to be one of the highest viewed Combate cards in their history, right?
Yeah.
And
They do
could
big buys.
Yeah, right. And can there be bigger names with the pulp cultural lexicon that everybody from the UFC, from One Championship, from Bellator are trying to get mainstream viewers
Yeah.
to come in?
They're also trying to get and maintain the largest share in Mexico because Mexico doesn't really watch.
And again,
And
Ortiz
Tito's the
They'll watch
right
that.
name,
Yeah,
right?
they'll watch that.
And
All
Del
South
Rio.
America.
So
All South
that's
America
what
watch
that
stuff.
matchup is about.
Right,
You're getting the
absolutely.
entire country of Mexico to tune in.
Damn, I
Well,
wanna
is
go.
Tito Ortiz gonna get that love? Because I know he's a big supporter of Trump.
I'm not allowed to talk
Tito
about
doesn't
Trump on this
care.
show.
I'm not saying politics, but I'm just saying.
Tito
Yeah,
doesn't
the-
care. I don't know how the reaction will be, but he sells
with the
tickets.
Mexican
That's all that
fighters.
matters.
Yeah, okay.
People want to see him lose. People want to see him win.
Right,
just as
absolutely.
bad.
It's
As long
it's
as-
Mexican American against Mexican, so they're
Yeah.
going to want to see that.
Yeah.
Give Robert the microphone.
Who?
Ghost Pepper.
Oh,
Ghost
Ghost
Pepper.
Pepper!
Yeah,
Eric Ghost Pepper
exactly.
Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Hey.
How
are
do
ya?
how do they not put Ghost Pepper on that card? Like,
Right? And Sydney Trio.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
Sid Vicious.
Sydney will be fighting for a Camo State title later this summer.
She's incredible.
Yeah, so we'll see what
A
happens.
young
but
talent.
That's who I'm excited for. Are all of the fighters?
I bet Ghost Pepper's on that one. Is it going to be local?
I don't
Fighting
know.
Tito, it's either going to be Mexico City or LA,
I
right?
think it's
I would-
Mexico.
Let's go.
It's so early.
I'm down.
Yeah,
I didn't
I
even know if
guess
the
so.
article was true or not. So
Right.
I'm like, I don't
But
know.
what-
We're just taking Adam's word for it. We're going to
I thought
run.
that's what they were saying.
I got my papers.
I thought they're going to Mexico.
this is
You have no
completely
papers.
because, I'll not to go pro wrestling, but this is their WrestleMania.
This is their best shot.
This is the thing that they do. Like they put all their chips in
Yeah.
to see how to gauge what the interest is, and again, it sets up. Like, don't you think whoever's on that undercard, right? Jones and Santos were on the headline, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at the undercard outshine that, right?
Yeah.
So you don't think that that's going to happen with Combate? And I think it's a really smart move. It doesn't matter how it's going to go. People are going to tune in,
Yeah.
right? These two have legit skills, So I mean,
It's the newcomer, so we all know what we're thinking.
Tito's got to
But
be so much bigger than him, though, right?
what's the reach on viewers from?
both
from
WWE
both guys.
and UFC.
It's
I mean,
huge.
yeah, they're both. I mean,
If we
box
could get
office
them to
draws.
do MMA Events Incorporated, we're going to sell some tickets.
Now, Mr. Woods,
That's all
have
I'm
you
saying.
seen any videos of Del Rio training and his camp?
Yeah,
Have
there.
you
I mean,
seen
so
anything?
I never like to judge, training footage because obviously those can be doctored and what have you. We saw it a little bit with the Tito Chuck thing,
Aw.
and Chuck was it made him look in a positive light. When you saw him the day before, it wasn't great. So I'd
Yeah.
never like to judge that. But again,
Thanks, Joe.
look at the amount of views that it'll probably get in comparison to anything else that maybe Combate has put out or Del Rio himself has put out.
They can
Or-
both talk shit.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want to see, like, even
Yeah.
if it's fake, I want to see
No,
them start running
it's
their mouths,
it's going to
dude.
happen. It's
Del Rio.
I
yeah.
almost. There's enough.
Yeah, because Del really has that scar face. Like, come on, like
Yeah.
what? You know,
And
like
he knows the mic. He knows how to talk.
I mean,
Yeah.
and it has to. Okay,
This could be a lot of fun.
it's probably not going to happen in LA, and we all know why it's not going to happen in LA. There's going to be every testosterone. Their like tests are going to be like rainbow bright. This shit is going to be off the fucking charts, folks. But you know what? Again, it's all for the fighters on the undercard.
So it's
that's
gotta
all
happen in
That's all I
Mexico.
care about.
But it's
And
not
I
fair
want
for
to
all
see
the
that
Lota
fight.
guys and all the people that are selling all the ice creams
That's
and
right.
stuff around the stadium.
Which workout?
Robert's got a question for us. And
Yes,
again,
question.
let's hand him the
So
microphone.
which Tito workout was it that you saw? I mean, not Tito, but Chuck. Was it this workout right here that you saw, Chuck?
Robert's going to put it behind us.
Chuck?
Yeah, working out.
That might have been.
Is that the one you didn't want to judge?
I thought this wasn't that kind of
dude
show.
looks rigor mortis. I mean, he looks like a cadaver.
That was Chuck Liddell working out
No shit.
with his wife.
Okay, I mean that's one way to do it.
That's how
I also
Joey
thought it
works
was
out
an
with his
extra-
wife.
Extra from
Hell
Dexter.
yeah.
Right?
I thought it was one of the White Walkers from fucking Game of Thrones.
You should see the
Could've gone
treadmill at
either way.
Joe's
Put
house.
you next week.
Okay.
But
You're probably going to create one
you know,
with your face on that
I'm
guy.
I'm just glad that stocks for plastic are up in the Liddell household. So kudos to that.
All right.
You know,
If you say so.
so
Yeah.
take that for what it is. I'm just saying.
Tis what it is.
By the way, what shirt you guys wear today? I see.
Told you CMMA. Proud of my guys over there. Big win for him. Now he's retired, but he's moving on to bigger and brighter things. We've got MMA Events Incorporated
Of course,
representing
the man
MMA
representing.
Events Incorporated.
Oh, yes.
And he's got the lid. And if you don't know this, follow them on Instagram because that lid goes around the world. I've seen the MMA Events Incorporated lid in places I have never been, and I'm well traveled. So it's a wonderful thing. I love this hat.
And shout out to Rich Palomino out of Balquatch's Rounders MMA. He won a couple weeks ago in a big way at King of the Cage, Golden Era. So
I was
shout
there.
out to Rich. And we're going to come and do a gym crasher sometime.
We originated Gym Crashers with
I
Balquatch.
like to point.
I'm aware.
Where do you want to do that at? Is it at Bal's place? We've done it.
I think we do. But not with Rich.
Okay.
So, Rich, we coming for you.
And boys, one more question. Social medias, where they can catch you on your social medias here?
Down to the Gym Crasher.
MMA Events Inc.
I'm according to Woods. It's written on my underwear.
And
It-
Our Life CBD.
Check
Fuck yeah.
out the Our Life
Cauliflower Nation,
CBD.
Massage Matters.
Yes.
You guys are the real MVP.
Free Admission Media. Joey the Bull.
I love that name.
Joey the
Love free
Bull.
admissions.
Just
Good
look up
name.
Joey the Bull
Joey the
Santana.
Bull.
I'm in the house.
That's right.
Hey,
If you need a mic man, I'm here. If you need bouncers, I'm here. I'm a bodyguard. I'll do everything.
And
Don't search it on the incognito tab because Joey the Bull and bouncing is a completely different thing.
No, there is a Joey the Bull out there. He's a rapper in Texas.
That's that.
But he changed his name to Joey Bizzle because I think he got pissed off that I took Joey the Bull.
Got it. Hey, 12,000 Firestone Boulevard. Come train with us. I'll be there tomorrow at 6. They're Monday,
What is
Wednesday,
that?
Saturday. Our dojo, the
Yes,
Gym Crasher
Gym
Dojo.
Crashers Dojo.
The one that Adam has not even put his foot in.
I do.
But we'll get him
Yeah.
over there.
You still hang
Yeah.
out with
He's got a Celi
We have
Lotes
to
for
give
us over
away
there.
tickets before this.
Yes,
ends.
Yeah, do we got
Pick
anybody
somebody.
on there?
Well, he might
Hook
have
somebody
asked
up.
feet,
Somebody.
that's why.
Hook somebody up.
Just pick somebody and just
Yeah.
hook 'em
so-
up.
Pick it, Robert. Pick it. MMA
So
Events Incorporated.
actually, we've got the comments.
What do we
up
got going on?
here.
Yeah.
So,
Do we got an Our Life CBD person out there? Come on. Don't either. Just tell us.
Dustin
That might be. No, he can't win.
because
He already has tickets.
So shout out to Dustin Lenneberg.
Yeah. Shout out to Dustin.
I mean, you got, but Serge is probably working.
Serge. Yeah. Serge is
Why don't we
coming.
let
Albert
someone
Morales?
message Robert at Free Admission Media or Gym Crashers, and then he can hook up with Alan and get the tickets to you.
Actually, I think.
Unless you got ideas.
Yeah. What's up?
Where's Aaron Morrow?
Erin Morrow, bring her. She is an encyclopedia of MMA. Getting her to this event, we can bring her in and break it down afterwards because she has one of those memories for fights. Like I watch them and delete them immediately. But she comes in and she can break them down, fight for fight, person for person, tell you where they went to high school, where they graduated, where they went to college. She knows just about everything there is to know, and I have no clue what she's talking about. I just nod. I'm like, okay,
That's
cool.
a great thing to admit on air.
I admit it.
10 points.
Oh, I wing it. That's why you're here, Woods.
There you go.
All right, boys.
So,
So, about that time, right?
We gotta give away tickets.
Oh, we got to go. Oh, solo. Sorry.
Okay,
Skip.
here's the choices. We got, you're gonna tell me probably part of the promotion. There's a Thomas Edward Solorzano.
Thomas Edward Solorzano, you have won.
Yeah, why not?
And then
That's the guy.
Would be Jamal Harris, Mary Kay Woods, and
You had me at Thomas Solorzano.
I guess
Thomas.
You had me at Thomas Solorzano.
This is our winner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Julian,
Dude,
buy
come to
us.
Pasadena. We'll give
Check
you
'em
tickets.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So get us the DMs at any of our social media, and
That's
we will
cool.
hook you up with tickets to MMA Events Inc. show. Do
Yeah.
we have a title on that show?
No, no title.
Okay,
You wanna-
just
you
MMA
can,
events.
You can name it if you want.
We're crowning kings.
I was
We're
gonna say
taking
opposite
over.
heads.
I am the
Yeah,
game.
Are we on a Game of Thrones shit?
I'm
right
looking
now?
for a Pasadena cochina.
There you go. MMA Events Inc. That's it in the
We all are, dude.
Pasadena Cochina.
That's why I'll be there.
That's my new drag
That's
name.
right. That's right.
We all know what it's
You
gonna
know
look
And
it.
again, so we've got Dondo,
Yo, see ya.
like. Yeah, thank you.
Joey, take us
That's
out, bro.
right. Jim Crashes. Everybody catch us next week, 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. This is Joey the Bull with the rest of the crew at Jim Crashes. Sorry, cools.
That's cool.
I think I smelled my farts.
Catch you next week, guys.
Wash off your giblets.
All the what the fuck?
Caca. Smells like caca.